Nanaimo Ladysmith.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In my question last week, I highlighted 3 areas where the government and society are failing the disability community. The first one I'd like to highlight is the plight of disabled veterans in this country. Veterans Affairs Canada has a backlog of almost 50,000 disability benefit applications. Our veterans deserve far better. It is disrespectful to attend commemoration ceremonies on November 11th to honor the dead while we dishonor the living in this way. Madam Speaker, for a number of years, I worked with the disability community in Nanaimo Ladysmith in employment skills training programs. It was my job to discover the talents of each participant, understand their ambitions and dreams, and learn which skills they wanted to share with an employer. I then sought out employers who were ready to create a job that worked for that individual. When successful connections were made, it was rewarding for the participant, for the family, for the employer, and also for me. But many employed people with diverse abilities live in legislated poverty. People who receive provincial disability benefits are only allowed to earn a certain amount per year before their disability benefits get clawed back. In British Columbia, a single person can receive a maximum of $14,196 per year in disability benefits. They are permitted to earn an additional $12,000 a year without penalty. But every dollar earned above that $12,000 is clawed back dollar for dollar from their benefits. If a person earns too much money in a year, they can be completely cut off from disability benefits, and they have to go through the process of reapplying. This is legislated poverty. Until this year, in BC, if someone on PWD lost their job and received EI, their EI, which they paid into, was clawed back dollar for dollar. This was also the case with the CERB until I pointed this out to the provincial minister and asked him to have some compassion for the diverse ability community. Applying for disability benefits can be extremely daunting, and a whole industry has been built around exploiting people with disabilities who want to apply for federal benefits like CPP disability. It is unacceptable that the Disability Tax Credit DTC promoters restriction regulations have still not been implemented. I have a constituent with a traumatic brain injury who was charged over $1,000 for assistance applying for the DTC. The family could not manage the large payment, and a collection agency was sent after the constituent. People with diverse abilities want to be connected to the community, contribute to society, and feel a sense of self-esteem and satisfaction that comes with working. I know many people with diverse abilities that dedicate hundreds of volunteer hours every year to help those less fortunate. It is truly humbling to hear someone who faces a life of challenges talk about their dedication to serve and help those less fortunate. They should be recognized and rewarded for the contributions they make. The Green Party believes that it's time for a national strategy to create national accessibility standards. We need to respect people in the diverse ability community and the contributions they make to society. We need to ensure that they live lives of dignity and are free from discrimination, that they get the services that they need, and that economic challenges do not lead to health challenges. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Disability Inclusion.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Nanaimo Ladysmith for his question and for his advocacy on behalf of the constituents in his riding. As the world continues to grapple with the COVID-19 pandemic, we have the opportunity to work together to ensure that our recovery efforts are disability inclusive and leave no one behind.
At the start of the pandemic, we quickly struck a COVID-19 disability advisory group. This group ensures that the interests and needs of people living with disabilities are taken into account in all aspects of our decision-making and our emergency intervention plan.
The Government of Canada implemented broad, inclusive economic measures to insulate individuals, families, and businesses from the economic shock. We also focused targeted investments on populations that were highly vulnerable during the crisis, including Canadians with disabilities. These included additional income supports for students with disabilities and a one-time payment for persons with disabilities to help offset extraordinary expenses. We also made investments in a new national workplace accessibility program to support employment opportunities and an accessible technology program to support access to technological supports. But Madam Speaker, we know that our support systems were challenged and stretched. Significant systematic gaps were revealed, and long overdue conversations on systemic discrimination were center stage. We are now taking significant action to address these gaps through Canada's first ever Disability Inclusion Action Plan. Our Disability Inclusion Action Plan will have a new Canadian disability benefit, which is direct income support for Canadians with disabilities, a better process to determine eligibility for government disability programs, and benefits based on a modern and inclusive understanding of disability and a robust employment strategy. Les personnes en
People with disabilities in Canada are underrepresented in the workforce, and they continue to encounter significant obstacles to employment. Many are unemployed, underemployed, or in precarious employment situations.
Canada's disability employment strategy is the next step forward. This strategy will include a significant investment in training and support individuals looking to enter the workforce, to re-enter the workforce after injury or illness, or to advance in their current employment. It will support entrepreneurs with disabilities as well as employers looking to build confidence in providing inclusive workplaces. It will also promote the business case for disability inclusion and champion the innovation, creativity, and problem-solving capabilities of the untapped labor pool that is our citizens with disabilities. Madam Speaker, the Government of Canada is committed to ensuring that all Canadians can live in dignity, including persons with disabilities. Thank you. Merci.
Our member for Nanaimo, Ladysmith.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I'd like to thank the Parliamentary Secretary for his response. I'm happy to hear that there are some programs that are coming forward. We need to do more for the diverse ability community. They stood by and they watched while everybody got the benefits rolled out for the pandemic and waited 8 months to get a $600 payment. Many people with diverse abilities who received the CERB because they were self-employed are now being told they have to pay the CERB back. This is because the government was not clear that the eligible income amount was based on net, not gross income. Self-employed people with home-based businesses use a portion of their rent and utilities to write off against their income. Small businesses receive rental assistance, but not home-based businesses. There is a total disconnect between how governments speak about people with diverse abilities and how they actually are treated. And we need a national strategy to correct that disconnect.
Parliamentary Secretary.
Madam Speaker, people with disabilities are affected by every decision and are entitled to be included in the debate in each and every process and system.
That is why the Government of Canada is committed to a disability inclusive recovery that ensures that no one is left behind and that our systems are better able to respond to the needs of all Canadians. That is the spirit and purpose of the new Disability Inclusion Action Plan. And I emphasize the word action, Madam Speaker. This is about action, about the concrete measures we are putting in place and the investments we are making. And again, I want to sincerely thank the member for Nanaimo, Ladysmith, for his excellent questions and his continued advocacy. Thank you.
The